Well, hi. With my 30 seconds, let everybody get on here. Whoever's coming on, nobody does, that's fine too. I try to be communicative with the chat, but see how it goes. Hoping that God is with all of y'all, wherever you're at today. You're giving him recognition on where he's brought you to and seeing the things that are important to him. Today's painting is going to be the third one for Rome Dog. It's a close up of his dog, Rome Dog, his namesake there. Um, it's going to be of his dog chewing a chicken. So I'm kind of working on a test board, trying to get it, but and I really wanted to address something that's really near to my heart. And it's battling depression. So I'm gonna start out with a darker color and work my way in something that's not so glazy, just to get an idea of where I want the paint to be and where I don't. I also have some green screen stuff that I can put up, so make it easier to do a more exact picture of Rome Dog. It'll be very easy at this point because I don't want to mess up the canvas. So smaller is better. So yeah, I've dealt with depression my entire life, from childhood trauma and just being like a middle kid in one way and a namesake kid and oldest son in another. I just never have felt like adequate. you know when I was younger, it meant a whole lot of suicidal thoughts, like all the time, crippling. um and as an adult, it doesn't mean that. As an adult, I've managed to put my energy into things that benefit me, and well, I've been blessed that I don't have to deal with it so much. And I kind of want to go over some of these blessed things. Hi, Mr. Kid. So, when it comes to depression, I understand as an adult that it's deeper than just my thoughts. I understand that the way that demons work, and I hate to say it like that because it's so much like clickbait. There's so much misunderstanding on a thing. But the way that they work is implanting thoughts, and if you accept them, then they start strongholds. So as an adult, I know this, but as a kid, I had no idea. So there's a whole lot of strongholds. There's a whole lot of that going on in my head. Always feelings of inadequacy, feelings like nothing was worth it. Depression. And it didn't stop. And the drugs made it worse. When they tried to give me antidepressants, they made the suicidal thoughts way worse. When they tried to give me antipsychotics to sleep, they made the antidepressants mean nothing. They made it my ADHD, my lack of attention, get way worse. And at points, it was completely, outside of my ability to even control my thoughts. Like, it was absolutely crippling. As an adult, it's not so bad. In fact, yesterday was a rough day. Hi, everybody coming in. Thank y'all for all your support. Welcome to my channel. Yeah, feel free to jump back through. I do paintings as regularly as I can. I also do inspirational epiphanies and a couple other things. I don't know. If you like what you see, feel free to subscribe. I try to do this regularly, and my community, my moderators are like the best people I've found on YouTube. So catch them when they're here, then sub them up. Heck yeah. trying to build a community. It's a little cold, so I'm like shivering. It's ridiculous. But I also, I tend to stutter when I'm really passionate about something, and I'm really passionate about this. That the fight of depression is real, and the way to overcome it is to realize that it's not you, man. And then once you know that it is the enemy attacking, then it's easier to unidentify yourself from it and realize that it's not you, and realize how awesome you are. Because that's really what got me, is when I realized that, like, what's inside of me is so special that I don't find it everywhere. The love I can put out here is so special that it's worth it, and that's a rare thing. That really helped me a lot. And then also realizing that I could never do that because it would hurt everybody I've ever known. Might even make someone else want to do it. I think my depression, it was always a way that God kept pulling me back to Him. Because no matter how hard the enemy attacked, it all meant that I was coming to God. Because I'm not strong. Once I realized, His gifts, His energy, His strength. Once I realized that, it kind of changed it a lot. That it never really was me. The things that I'm most proud of are God and the way He's moved in my life. Oh, thank you so much, Jack. Yeah, you guys will like it for sure. This is definitely a good channel. And like my community is very supportive. We're all YouTube creators in some way. And not all is loud with the religious and all, you know, just good people that watch after each other. I'm not crazy good with detail, so I'm trying to be careful to not paint uh put paint where I don't want it, but trying to really just put a base of where I'm gonna paint it some other color just to give myself depth. Um, give myself some idea of where I'm gonna have brighter colors later on. So if you, like me and a lot of my brothers, first of all, are dealing with this crippling depression or something close, it's just like uh, irrational thoughts. First of all, realize that it's the enemy, man. It's the enemy. It's not you. It's nothing wrong with you. If it was, then why would it be something that even King David dealt with? Like, it says that he was a little kid trying to kill himself. He said, even since I was a youth, I've hated my life. You understand? So it's like you're not alone in this. Everybody, even the most holiest people you've ever heard of, deal with the same thing. And if they don't admit it to you, then they're probably messing with you. Because it's the enemy attacking. Now, there is hope. If you stand, he will flee. The attack won't last forever. And there's very real reasons why you're in this. There's very real reasons why you got brought back. There's very real reasons why you prayed up your life. There's very real blessings going on around you. And I think that's the key to this attack, is that it takes your mind off of the things that God's doing around you. Because, I've had prayers answered that, there was no way I deserved to have that answer, but He answered it in a ways that only He can. For real. All glory for my life, for my skill, everything is due to God. Even the Holy Spirit showed me how to do these things. So I'd say in all that, man, if you keep turning back to God, there is strength. Just keep with the strength. Hi, Real Odds and Evens. Well, hi, DJ. Welcome back. And realize there's other people out here who deal with the same shit. Because it's not us. There's nothing wrong with you because you have depression. Really, once you realize that it's an attack and it can be fought. and you got to count your blessings. I think that's that's what my grandma told me when I was going through it when I was young. She said that's what it is. You got to count your blessings. That's how you fight that. You got to be grateful with all the things that God's building around you because it's amazing. Like if you really just sit back and look, He'll use the littlest things. It's just so amazing. Absolutely makes me shake and cry. Absolutely. Hey, anybody want to be modded up if you've been following my channel and I've just overlooked you? You want to jump around and start subbing people up? Just say so. I can do that. I'm really all about building a community here. Oh, and that's another part is when you are part of a community, that's like intermingling of spirits, and sometimes it'll have consequences. Like if you're in a conscious community, you might have a certain type of devil come after you. If you're in a church community, you might have a certain kind of devil. It's like a group attack, but we don't communicate a lot, so we don't really. Welcome back. My goodness, I'm so silly. Gerald, I can't read very well this morning. But yeah, so if we communicate better, we would see that it's a group attack. Because a lot of times the attack methods are the same, because it's the same devils, the same energy coming up against us. Especially when it comes to holy works, like you'll have a group attack, because there's people that are coming into it that are going to be blessed, and that energy wants to stop it. And I'll call demons that because I know a lot of people hear that term and they don't know what to think. Because it is scary, man. The idea that there's energies around you that you can't control, and that it's not all God. I mean, it is all God, but it's not the side you're trying to be on. But even the word God, like, but the idea of something bigger than you, I think that applies to the whole realm of spiritual things. Yuck, got paint on me. So yeah, man. So take heart and don't take anything for granted. I mean, just say like different interactions you may even have on here are for a reason, man. Like we're here to spread that hope, that you're not alone in your fight. Like people have been way worse off and went through way worse than you even. People have been right where you're at and they made it through. Um, and through all my latest like waves of crazy life stuff has been less suicidal thoughts than ever. Like when I thought my whole world was over, ooh, it wasn't in a suicidal way. It was like, what is God doing? you know, it all led me back to Him. No matter what they said, no matter what they did, it all led me back to Him, and He answered, and He's answering still, and He's changing people around me, and changing my little town even. That there's not been an accident in this whole thing, and everywhere I've worked, everywhere I've been, I've seen these changes, these things that I prayed for, that I heard other people pray for. I mean, how blessed is that? What a reason to be alive. That not only to know that God's living, but to see Him work, to hear Him, the Spirit call me at times, to be part of it, even. Like, that's definitely a reason to fight them devils. So, you got to hold all thoughts under your power. So, when those attacks come on, first of all, realize it's not you and there's nothing wrong with you. You're not alone in this. That it may be friend circles too. that if you have like a heavy influx of lustful thoughts, could be friend circles is what they're investing their time into. You're gonna pick up that energy. And that can be even clearer when you talk about heavenly things. It's like if you have somebody in the crew that's on to some other stuff, it'll be made plain. It was for me, I'm sure. Trying to be so careful to be detailed on this one. So through this too, some things that helped. Well, first of all, like painting, braiding, anything that I can sit down and talk to God definitely helped. Um, and even more so, anything that I can do to be a service. So like feeding the poor, helping out the ones who don't know, where however that comes on, supporting the cause, however that cause is. Like some things that I can really do to be a service. Looking out for travelers, just trying to do my job, that really helped my depression because then I have a sense of being, I have a sense of why I'm here. And through these works, and these works are given by God, you know, like these situations aren't on accident. And through these works, I learned a lot more about my purpose in Him and some of my strengths, some of my weaknesses, but really that He has a reason that I'm alive. And that helps me battle depression like nobody's business. Like that does far more than any antipsychotic, any antidepressant you can think of. The fact that the Almighty God who created the universe has a reason for me to be alive is amazing. And if you can find that, then you'll find out why I've been crying. Can't be taken in public sometimes. Feel the spirit moving. I'm like, ah! I'll be speaking in tongues though. If I'm speaking in, uh, man, it's just really awesome. That's really what's done it for me. Is just feeling that and knowing that like God has a reason why He brought you through all that shit, and and knowing that it wasn't on accident in the middle of it really helped a lot too. Um, Being able to see the hardships and then getting through the hardships, but while I was in the middle of the hardships, knowing that like I was going through this because it was to help somebody later, that really makes it all worth it. So turn to God, man. Whatever it is, whether it's a situation, whether it's a series of thoughts, whether it's a just find His heart, man, and you'll find out why you're here. You'll find out what this was all about, and you'll have something that you'll have the Spirit to protect you when it comes to these spiritual things that are bigger than you, man. They are bigger than you. You're bigger than you. Sorry, guys. I'm just really emotional on this one because it's just really near to my heart, man. Just you guys give me so much hope, for real. Yeah, a lot of crying. Crying also helped me. Crying to God about all this, about everything that's ever happened to me. As I put my heart in the service, though, that really helped me a lot too. Because He had showed me how to act. He'd showed me everything. Gave me a reason for living. And I hope that y'all get that reason for living too, because I'm really grateful for every one of you and your bright, positive nature. As I'm glad that God's really brought you into my little alternative reality, as you want to call it that. I really enjoyed painting all this stuff and having such a good audience. It's really meant a lot to me. It does have the makings of a dog, don't it? So I'm just going from the darker and working my way up the brighter. This dog actually has a white print, like my little. See, my sketch is real dark, but I tried to mark where the print is. Yeah, it doesn't really look like it. That's something to stare at yet. I have to finish it. But I also have, sorry, green screen images, screenshots of a video of Rome Dog, so I hit it with those at the end once I get the basic area. So if you like the most of us, and also yeah, if that's some of the reason that some of us are brought to YouTube in the first place is because we had these um this need to reach out and help and brighten up the world, you know. And I think that my personal bit, it's like a lot of that comes with that, like that that want to help whatever way I can, because I know how dark it is, for real. So I appreciate that the Most High has put so many people that are like that, kind of minded, around me right now, and I'm very grateful for it. I'm very grateful for all your contributions. Just going for the basic shape and the basic color right now, and then I'll work up from here with a more detailed brush, probably. Get to somewhere comparable, then get back to the chat for a second here. I don't really know if I want to get to the chat. And I'm just playing. I do. It's all right. Real men do cry, in case you were curious. Real men do cry. If they don't cry, then there's something wrong with them for real. Because that's healing, man. You just gotta let it go, man. For real. Especially when you care about somebody, you care about something, it happens. I always kind of worry about preaching in the back of my head. I'm like, if I go on preaching and then start busting out in tears, what's gonna happen? But I guess this is a testament to what can happen. I hope y'all's heart softened up to the Most High, that you can get back into contact, man, because He's really our only hope for any of this, and He's got such blessings, man. He's got such ideas for the future. Go on and talk to Him. You want to help that depression, let all those attacks, let it lead you back to the Most High. Let it lead you back to why you're here, which is to help, if you remember. And then maybe you'll see why you're attacked so much. Amen. Oh boy, my whole crew here. All right. I'm gonna throw a couple people as moderators so you can jump around and sub everybody up. Uh Man, I love you guys so much. I'm so grateful for real. Like, I'm not trying to be a pussy all crying on the camera and everything. I'm just so grateful for all the love, man. People random with their people random. I got so much love. If you just chill out for a minute. Hi. Okay, so we got everybody in here. Hi, Rihanna. Naomi, I went ahead and subbed you up. If you didn't hear, go ahead and jump around. Yeah. Nichui, Coffee, Rihanna, my bestest friend Nisha, coolest I know. Everybody. Real. I'm sure a couple more people who ain't speaking up. I welcome y'all to speak up. Uh, these are my friends. Well, yeah. So, yeah, I'm kind of intimidated by this painting a little bit, just because it's so personal. I really want to catch the essence of his hound. He's got a bit more boxy overhead, maybe. I really want to catch the essence of Rome Dog because he's like such a cool dog. My hound dog, she just lays back there and chills out. She's definitely cool. But so all y'all special, like you went through all that shit for a reason, and it was to be able to bless people back, man. So I hope in all your realities that you're doing that very thing, and I watch you all do that. That's why I'm so grateful to have you in my life, because I know you about blessing people. There was no accidents, not one, not one. And we've been through some stuff. I've heard a couple of your testimonies. We've been through some stuff with the outcasts. We the ones that be made fun of. We the ones ain't good enough since birth. But there was a reason for all that, man. There was a reason for everything, and none of it was an accident, and none of it will be wasted. I'm so grateful for what the Most High has built it in you. I really am, and I hope that helps with your depression. I hope that at least that you definitely blessed at least one person for sure. Especially you ladies of the church. Y'all take my breath away with how awesome you get. As I watch you guys everywhere, anywhere, and especially the ones close to Manisha, Coffee, Nichi. Uh, you guys, I mean, odds and evens, you ain't no lady at the church. No, you king for real. But y'all just really everywhere that the spirit sends you that I've seen as far as all this chat goes, you come with the same support, you come with the same energy, and like anybody I've suggested, y'all jump on top of it to back people up. I mean, that really means a lot to me. I'm really appreciative. I mean, I'm really like that moves me to want to keep doing this. So however you're hurting, man, I hope that the Most High heals you, leads your heart to forgive, because then the enemy they don't have nothing to bring up no more. 'Cause people are messed up, but even Jesus on the cross said, "Forgive him, because he knows not what he does." And it's like all these people are standing around making fun of him, putting a crown on him, mocking his kingship. My Lord said, "Forgive them, because they don't know what to do." So forgive those people who hurt you. They weren't right, and they do have to pay consequences. They should go back to God too and start getting their prayers answered. Pray that they have an encounter so that their life is changed like yours was. And in some cases, it's that their debt was paid by the same sacrifice that yours was. I really hope I'm making sense. I really feel like I'm just bawling. It's just I really have a lot of heart in this one. Okay, I need to find like a green. So I got a red on my brush and maybe like a blue. No, yellow, bright yellow. That might work. That would make orange. Uh, I'll just use a dark green. Yeah. So if you let everything lead you back to God, then you can't go wrong for real. And don't take none of it as coincidences. There's not any accidents in this. It's all cause and reaction. You're praying for your reality, you know. So you got to get your thoughts in order so you can pray clearly. Get your heart in order so you don't need words. Feel me, Sid? Christ is the intercessor that speaks my soul to the Most High God. For real. That's speaking in tongues. We speak everybody's tongue. So, to recap, realize it's not you and you're not alone. No matter what you went through, somebody else has gone through it and made it through. And other people have also gone through it and not made it through, and far less. Honestly, I've seen people that had trauma way, I mean, I forgive my earthly judgment, but like, I seemed like a little less than what I went through. But it caused all kinds of craziness in their head. And that, oh, I've seen other people that went through the exact same thing I did, and didn't come back. They didn't exactly survive it in the same way. I don't believe any of that was an accident. I don't think any of my life has been an accident or something that he didn't have purpose for, whether it's my shortcomings or what happens in around me or attacks or any of that. It was also that I can understand somebody who he sent me to help. And everything about me is not about me. What I'm proud about is the things that God's building in me, the understanding and the heart that he's building in me to be able to help. And maybe even heal. I want to get back to this. I love y'all so much. Right, Nisha? If I can help one person, I'm happy. Right, Nichui? Like, if I can just keep that light on for one person. Sorry, it's just your quote, man. I've just had your words going through my head for the last 2 days as I'm thinking about your painting. Like, just a little bit of light. Just takes a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit of light, especially when it's the darkest. It doesn't take a very bright person to seem so bright, but really, it's all the Most High. It's all God. It's all God, and He's putting you there for a reason, and He's put you with a set of like a mission. Not like He's put you with a specific mission, specific people. Even as He did Christ, He's got specific people that you're going to have an influence on, and sometimes it happens in the middle of the fight. Like, here's your sheep to watch after in the middle of the lion's den. But it's all him doing it, you know? And so it should all lead you back to him. All right, let's get to the particulars of Rome Dog's face. I probably need to do a little more coloring because this obviously isn't the color of it all. He's like a more orangey kind of color. Ooh, yeah, that's not a bad idea. Oh, that'd be a little bit too bright. But I'm gonna work on the white part first. It don't take a lot of light in the darkest situations. So don't take any of that for granted either. If you really want to follow God, know that He's about to send you to the ghetto. He's about to send you to the places that you really don't want to go. Speak words to people that are not yours, that are His. And so, maybe you don't want to say them. Like there's been times when I was called to say things that I didn't know. I mean to say like just certain words um that I didn't even understand, like sub pump at my old job. There was a day that I was asking for a raise and I'd been contemplating back and forth with the most high, like, do I go and talk to D? Do I go and talk to D? And and God was like, be grateful where you're at. And I was not being so grateful. But I didn't want to just cause issue, over not making more than starting wage after being there for a year and a half. But so along these prayers, Most High said, well, okay, well, ask to go and talk to him in his office. So I did just that, and I waited until a civil time, and then I asked to go and talk to him in his office. And when I went down there, I kind of went over it. He went over his side of why he wasn't trying to give me no more money, or he wasn't trying to give me whatever it was, and so we had that going back and forth like for a while. Anytime I had a disagreement, so this time it was pretty similar. And we went down to the office, and I asked him for more than starting wage, and I told him like I work my butt off. I'm everywhere. I literally run, and they're yelling at me like a slave all day. Kevin, Kevin, Kevin. You know what I mean? And I deal with it because I love these people. I love my job. I just can't keep going on this little bit of money. Like I got too much going on, and I've been here for a while, and I see other people getting raises. What's up? He says, oh, you're just not worth it. And then the spirit said, sub pumps. Just say sub pumps. I was like, sub pumps? I was like, do you know what sub pumps is? And he's like, no, not really. What are you talking about? And I didn't really think too much after that. I mean, I just kept remembering that, and then I was really angry, and the spirit was moving me over and over and over, just like it did the last time, to just be grateful where I was, that there's not on accident. To be grateful for where I was, and praying gratefulness, because it was kind of a miracle, like that was a really good job, and the Most High moved, so it made an even better job. The spirit would tell me like when timers are about to go off. So, so all the while I was trying to be grateful and grateful, and then came in the next day and the whole basement was flooded. And it had happened before, but it was like storms would flood in, and then they would just get stuck in the floor, and then it would drain out the back door, kind of thing, or something. Some kind of pump in the inside would flood, and then it would just drain out, and a couple hours later it would be gone. So I figured it was the outside drain was full of leaves or something. I'm out there trying to clean it out, and boss lady's on the phone with the boss, and he says, "No, get out, get away from it. It's a sub pump for the city has backed up," and they ended up flooding out the whole basement, including boss man's office. Ugh. The very office that I was sitting in there reasoning, asking for justice. To be honest with you. Mm. So wherever you're at, as far as the smallness, as far as you feel like you're not doing enough, you know that God's gonna give you the work for sure. He's gonna put you to work, however that looks to him. And it's not about you. It's about what you've been through and how you made it out and how he can be glorified in it for real. Because I surely would not have made it. I surely would not have made it. That's looking kind of, yeah. Oh, have a good time. It was nice to meet you again. Um, yeah, faith is what it's all about, Nisha. Yeah, and I wish it could all be as cut as dry as like good and bad people, but it's just not, and God doesn't think it is. In fact, to Him, I understand that we are all messed up for sure. Oh, and the ones that want to try to tell you otherwise, are probably lying to you. Okay, they don't admit their sin, so they can damn you along with it. I think I have one of those. I have one of those reasonings on here. False prophets are a bitch. They look a lot like us. but they don't act like us. They ain't got heart like us. They don't win like us. But they also aren't put up to all the battles that we are. Coincidence? So, to battle depression, turn to the Most High. Let that turn into prayer. Let all those attacks turn into thoughts that you're using to talk to God. Like He's always listening to you. There's no amen for Him. Like He doesn't hang up the phone ever. And He already knows what you need. He's always about moving us, getting our heart posture right, so that when we get it, and we're able to keep it. It's never a no, but only a get ready for it. Have a place ready for it. You know? So that's 100% what has helped me with depression. And I hope that it brings some kind of strength to somebody out here. And I'm not just crying at the video. I'm gonna try to get Rome's color. We'll see. I'm not too. Honestly, that looks pretty good already without messing it up with all that. Ooh. Try to get enough of Rome's color by mixing the colors on a coloring board outside of your view here. It's kind of like an orangish red, like dog color. Kind of difficult actually. I mean, I don't think it's a coincidence that I did this painting to this message. Because I mean, Rome Dog, you are another brother, so I know we all fight a lot of the same stuff. And I knew that you would be appreciative of it because right along with fighting all the same stuff, but that you always have everybody's back. So you've seen how lately we've all been dealing with the same set of devils for real, and how we've all had different ways of coping with it. Oh, so I knew you would appreciate the message. So I had promised that I was going to tell a couple stories, and that don't exactly correlate to the message, but I could probably bring it back around. So, do 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 do. So, the depression was like always a thing, and all through growing up and everything, like I never didn't have it. Adults were really scared of it, but I mean, I had to get to know it. It sucked, but I didn't know what to do about it. So I just kept always asking for a purpose. What am I doing in life? Am I at the right place? Am I doing the right thing? And I was given a couple jobs, and had a pretty normal life. And but there was always something that people just kind of hated about me. Um, and it just got worse as I went. I found more people that hated me for different reasons, and I just wanted out of my town. I felt like the world was bigger than Indiana. I felt like I had to go, and so I got through high school and I was in college, and that was all I could think about was I just had to go. I had to go see California. I had to see what this country's about. I had to see something before I have a kid. But God kept keeping me in the town that I was at forever, forever. And I was like coming on a year of being stuck and every day waking up and saying, "Okay, God, I'm going to go to the highway. I'm going to start my traveling journey." And him being like, no, and go and do this. And so during that time, I was doing a lot as far as like helping people and teaching people about fighting devils and casting out. I mean, I've I've got a couple different testimonies of friends from that time that you know I don't know, like it was some of the most powerful time for me, even though I was also dealing with the depression worse than ever. So in the middle of the winter, I'm going to a feed, and again I'm just praying this over and over and over. Just God, I just want to go to California. I just want to see what the world's about. Just let me go. And so in the middle of the winter, at a church feed, um, a really wild looking lady, a white lady with red dreadlocks and tall and real hippie, shows up at my feed at my little town, and she's like, I tell her, I'm just waiting, getting my chance to travel too. It's really obvious that she was a traveler. She's like, well, I'll tell you what, I got to go to New York to get some deadheads from a parking lot, but then I'm coming back. So if you're ready when I come back, I'll pick you up and take you out west. So I was like, bet. So I waited that whole winter, kind of like half believing her, but knowing that I couldn't go anywhere anyways. It was like God wasn't going to let me, then it was pointless. And so that whole winter just kept going on with works and works and works. And then springtime came and she showed back up with another dread, and she says, "All right, I'm here. Let's go." And took me and my whole friend circle to California. Well, as far as that goes, we got to New Mexico, to the Rainbow Gathering in New Mexico, um, and then most of the bus crew just broke up right around Colorado. It just broke up, and some of them went back to Indiana, and some of them, like, I just jumped off the bus. I'm just like, this is too much drama, but I shouldn't have. I was being a child. Okay, so in my journeys out west, first of all, I was right about the time of my eye, a little bit before it. I was at a local college and I was smoking in the basement. Like, it was a regular thing with me and a friend, and it was a bad idea. We knew it from the first, but we just kind of just kept doing it. And I was getting warned every time we get down there. I was like thinking somebody's gonna bust through the door. Then I started having dreams with like pictures of a van and another picture of of like a conversation I was having with a friend of mine, and just like signs that I should have known what was gonna happen. Like when I look back at it, I should have known. But so we were down there smoking, and a guy busts in, and my friend runs into the snow, and I just looked at the dude and just like put my hands up because I didn't have anything. But my friend threw the bowl down and acted all dramatic, and ran away. And then when he saw that I didn't leave, he just came back, and then we both got in trouble for that, and we both got um put through the court system. Now my friend had something else, I don't remember, something smaller from when he was younger. So he got 6 months probation for that and possession of paraphernalia. And I was working the Waffle House late night at that time, and so I didn't. I ran into this wild man, and anyways, so my eye happened the day I was supposed to go to court. So like the day or the day after was when I was supposed to go to court. And so I'm sitting in the hospital or sitting at my mom's healing when I'm supposed to be at the courthouse. So they put out a warrant for me, and I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how to like get the warrant off of me, and I didn't really want to. I spent most of my juvenile on probation, so I didn't really want to be on probation again. Um, so I just didn't address it, and I was wanted for 8 months. After my eye, I went back to the streets and kept doing my job. And eventually the bus showed back up. Oh, yeah, so eventually the bus showed back up after my eye and everything had happened, and I had this. I was already wanted for the last 8 months before that, and to the point that I actually went back to get my ID. And one of the things was you have to get proof of who you are. So I went back to my high school, got my diploma that way. I went got my social security card, my birth certificate, and I found out that you can actually get your profile shot if you ever have a mug shot. You can use that as an official ID. So I went and got that. Now, when I went to the office, I went to the sheriff's office and I sat and waited for my paperwork. And and I looked at her, and she looked at the computer screen, and then she was like, "Okay, you're Kevin Kaufman?" I was like, "Yeah, yeah." Sorry, I just blew my name, but I guess you guys have already seen it. Anyway, she says, "You're Kevin Kaufman?" I said, "Yep, yep." So, well, she calls back to this guy behind her, and this guy comes up, and she's like talking off the mic, and talking back and forth, and they keep looking at me all weird. I'm like, I don't know what's about to happen. And she's like, okay, okay, here you go, have a nice day. And she gives me my mugshot, and on the top of it, in bright red letters, it says "Wanted for failure to appear." But I like obviously have just like been like a week out of surgery. And I'm still trying to kick it. She says "Wanted failure to appear," and she's let me go. So I ended up on this bus, and I already had this warrant out. So anywhere we went, I was at risk of being taken back. So I kind of it was in the back of my mind as we went through Oklahoma, and we ended up getting stopped a couple times through there, and just different experiences that I did not want to get the bus in trouble because I had a sketchy past. So when I got to California, I still was wanted, but they don't expedite for misdemeanors, so I didn't ever get taken back. New York too. I didn't know that warrant had failed until after I was well backing at my mom's house, and I looked it up, and then eventually they just wrote it off. Kind of like my medical bills, they just wrote it off. I never heard anything about them again. But yeah, so I was wanted the whole time I was traveling. Oh, there was probably the coolest dogs I've ever seen when I went to California. Traveler kids have the best dogs ever. They are just dope. I mean, so smart that like this one boy, Fat Boy, his dog was like a sheep dog, like a longer hair guy. Oh, hi, Jordan. So yeah, he had a sheepdog, kind of like a longer hair feller, a real soft fur, and Fat Boy was a a drunk for real. He just liked to drink so much he couldn't. That was like half of why he got up, but he was also very outspoken and backed everybody up, so everybody loved him. But so he went to jail on a drunk detox. He went to jail just to like detox off for a week, because he was drunk in public, and so his dog didn't get taken. He gave it to this girl who was not very smart either. She is like just not very street smart at all. And that dog showed her to campsites. That dog showed her how to go and get food. Like that dog was teaching the babysitter. It was ridiculously smart. Um, there's also all the time I was going. Oh, from the time I hit California, I kept having people stop me, even in San Francisco, in Utica, in everywhere I went, and they say, "Hey, Lucky, what are you doing, Lucky?" And I was like, "Wow, what?" Like, "What do you mean, Lucky?" And they're like, "Yeah, man, you look just like my friend." And I was like, "Really? Cool. Like somebody out here already looks like me. That's interesting." And I finally got to this place called Fort Bragg, right next to Mendocino Village, in Mendocino County, and that's where he was like mainly located, I guess you say. That's like where he stayed a lot. And he had these two twin dogs that he would sit by his bag, and they looked just alike. It was a male and a female. And if anybody touched his bag, like they would get bit for real. Like nobody. Except if he like knew you or had camped with you. If anybody, police, yuppie, whatever, touched his bag, they would get bit. Like those dogs were stupid protective of him. But yeah, his name was Lucky, and he had dreadlocks, like little spirally dreadlocks. Pretty cool, dude. We had very different souls, but he thought it was funny too that people kept doing that. Because we'd be hanging out, and then somebody would be like, "Oh man, I saw Kevin. Yeah, man, I thought he was you." But I'd have people yell it out the window, "Hey, Lucky!" Wow, I had to meet this guy. All right, that was the stories. Border collie, yeah, border collie shepherd. I was kind of like that, like a smaller collie dog, but a medium size, about like my dog, but just built skinny, you know. Yeah, so I was trying to create with this one. I was really trying to create something that folk can go back and listen to, um, as far as the message goes. But basically, yeah, I mean, it's a fight, and depression is is a thing that is not new, and we're all dealing with it. And even in the Bible, even heck, I can't even think of somebody like everybody deals with that stuff, man. Especially like King David talked about hating his life since he was young. That really made me feel not so alone, or made me feel not so stupid. It was like, why do I keep being attacked? Why is it my thoughts, you know? But it's like, yeah, even King David dealt with this stuff. So turn to God with all that. Turn to God with everything. He'll give you reason for living. He'll give you the reason you're alive, and he'll be the one to take you. He'll be the one to tell you when you're done. You understand? Ooh, I really need to get some more white. I had that little tube. That's what I'm looking for now. Boy, this sure was a good message today. Thank y'all for being such good company. I know from the walk that the it's about the company, that when it comes to these preaching things and when it comes to really reaching out to souls, it's all about the company. Is what's gonna pull it out of a minister, is what's gonna pull it out of somebody who has the word. It's gonna pull it out because the heart of the people are there to receive it. And so I just want to say again, like, I'm so grateful that y'all got a heart to receive what I'm talking about. And I know that this that really has hit home because I know that we're all dealing with the same thing, you know. So I'm really hoping that this takes root, and the next time that you have attacks, that first of all you realize you're not alone. It's not you. There's nothing wrong with you. This is not a normal. You understand? And that it can be overcome, and it's not for no reason. So that your heart is ready to help somebody when they're dealing with the same stuff later. Especially if you consider yourself some sort of minister, you're trying to stand your life up for God, then you're likely to be put through some crap because you're going to get a little taste of what your congregation is going to get. You understand? So that when they come with their pain, you can understand it and you don't think that you're beyond it. For real. So don't when you choose the path of to be a minister, to be somebody who stands up for people, it's going to be rougher because of that. That's just another part of it. You're going to go through some, like, a little microscope. It's not like the full bag. Like, you don't have to go through exactly what I went through to be able to empathize with where I've been. But if you've been through even a little bit of it, if you felt like the outsider, if you felt like the one that everybody freaking hates, if I've had some people do some things that to you that you didn't deserve and it's hard to forgive, then I'm sure gonna understand because I've been there for sure. So I'm not gonna be so quick to judge up and say there's something wrong with you because I've been there too. I am the outsider, bro. I am the most hated, for real. But the people that love me, the people that love me, I mean, that's worth praying over. That's worth praising over. That's worth everything. I get the coolest kind of people around me. Even where I'm sitting now, you guys don't know. Like, I don't really share a lot of this part of the story, but before I even moved here, before I was brought here, the Lord had showed me this window, had showed me this view, and I made a painting of it and everything in the middle of everybody in my life like turning on me. Like, I was using it as a way. I was trying to get closer to God and figure out how I was messing up. so maybe it wouldn't be so bad. And it wasn't. And I saw all those blessings in the middle of all that. I saw some things that couldn't be anything but God. Yeah. uh, Kind of getting to a point with this painting. I'm not sure. I think I'm gonna have to pull up that picture of the dog. Get caught up on the chat. Right, worth it in the end. Oh, coffee. I adore you, lady. I hope you have a good day. Oh, hi. I saw you. I went into yours. Actually, love our toy pups. Are you the one with the stickers and emojis? And that your security system is awesome. You actually pulled up my site and you were like, okay, subscribed right now. I really like that because that means no kind of troll, kind of crazy people gonna come in there talking all kinds of crazy. I'm sorry that people have hurt you on here. I hope that you're able to feel too and realize that you're going through things so that you can bless people. And then it's none of it's gonna be wasted. None of it was on accident. Thank you all for supporting my channel. My crybaby self. I don't know why I still feel so conscious on a thing. It's like I only cry when it's about godly things. I only cry when it comes to the spirit. Like when the spirit hits and I know it's truth, like it makes it like pulls my sinuses. I swear like I can't even help it. It just starts flowing from me. But because I know that when I cried to him about things in my life that he answered me. So it makes me cry when I think of his greatness. But I don't just cry like out of emotion. I don't just cry. It's only when I think of the way that God's blessed me, the way that God's really looked after me in a way that nobody else could. Yeah, I bawl like a baby. Because it's been real special, and I didn't deserve any of it, for real. I mean, he's the one that's changed my heart, for real. He's the one that's made me look at life so much different. I want to do this. I want to do anything I could to help people so that you don't feel so alone. Because you're not alone, you know. I really don't know what I did with my white, though. I did just have it. Grrr. I have to go find another one. I have a lighter white, but it's not gonna be the same. Okay, this is getting pretty close to looking closer to Rome Dog anyways. I'll make a couple more marks and see if I can get the fur color better. Then I'll go back through with the white and do the markings of his face. His face. Such an interesting face. Like this half is more redder and then this half is got this cool pattern that goes up and around his eye. So when I can get that. Thank you all for your output in here. Making places on YouTube that isn't about crap. I really love it. If you are a YouTube creator, you want to speak up, we'd love to support you. If you're about something that's not crap, trying to build a community on here, take care of anybody. Take care of anybody, doesn't judge so much. Like I had a friend of mine last night talking about some people are on here because they're not socially with it. Like we're the people that will tolerate that. Like in their own real life, they're not gonna walk in and just be like, "Vote Obama, damn it," or whatever crazy stuff they want to say. But I don't know. So we'll be able to tell the fatherless that there's hope. You know, that's getting closer to his fur, closer and closer. I really want to try to catch like the essence of this dog because he's so playful. He was obviously a very good mate. Oh, that was my last thing. Thing that really helped me with depression and not wanting to do it honestly was when I was giving my dog. My dog was the meanest. It was looking like she was gonna have to go maybe get put down because she wasn't able to be around anybody. dog or human besides my mom, and she would just bite everybody. And I come back from Cali, and my mom was like, "Here, you have to have this dog. You have to take care of it. I have to keep it in a cage so it doesn't try to kill things." She had a twin in her litter, and then half her litter died of parvo. Um, so her twin, like her litter mate, died there, as well as the dog that I had picked out, which was an all white dog called Rasta. And it was so smart. I would tell that little puppy, I'd say, "Go get everybody," and it'd go and put its nose on each of the puppies, each of the other. Um, it was eight. It was eight puppies. Go and get them. That dog was super smart, but it died when I was in Cali. Just took sick, and so I got this dog here, my Miss Sammy, and she was the meanest one. I couldn't have her around kids. I couldn't have her around other adults. If anybody came in the yard, like I had to grab her up and put her on a leash. She was definitely a mean dog, and as soon as I got her, she just started to soften up, and then she wouldn't bite me, but she would still be nipping at other stuff, and I just held her and made sure to keep her in my house and give her her own space, and uh, and then I started training her to be a traveling dog, and so I started taking her to town and riding in the car for hours and hours, or walking down the highway, anything I could do to get her ready for the road, camping, whatever I could do. And then I got introduced to my Lacey and ended up having my boy. And so I never really got to travel with her, but now she's a baby dog. Honestly, now she's just spoiled ridiculous, and I can walk her right around town. She doesn't need a leash. She does what I say. She's a little bit stubborn, but she's really special. And that she raising her, worrying about her more than I worried about myself, definitely helped me with a lot of my depression and kind of sealing away the like I know I'm not going to do it because I fear God, okay? But I also know that I'm not going to do it even more so because what kind of impact it would have on my dog, what kind of impact it would have on my mom, my friends, my son. It's like it's a definite not ever going to work kind of thing. But having my dog and having to watch after her more than I could think about all that really helped me. Well, let me tell you, I also had a responsibility, so it can actually, especially trying to medicate a relationship with a kid or something like this. Like, don't take me the wrong way. For sure, don't try to buy a dog to take care of your entire world, but getting your mind on something else, getting your mind on taking care of something else besides being stuck in your head is always good. All right, that's getting a lot closer. Just a little more bright colors, but I might have to do a lot more off the camera than I thought if I can't find that white. Grr. I have a silver. That's gonna help me too much, but I think it's just I've whitewashed so many canvases I've lost though. Ah, Joe. Yeah, yeah. Me and my Sammy, we were a blessing for each other. Nish, thank you so much for backing me up. Y'all keep my heart right. You know that. We all from different walks of life, whatever, and different understandings of the Lord, even different understandings of the world. But yeah, y'all keep my heart right. is that spot? I think I went like this. I'll have to look at that green screen shot to probably get it just right. Oh, and don't ever think you're not enough, because you are enough for everything that God has for you, has for you to do. And whatever you're doing, it might look small, but in the end, it's not small. The fruit we're after is not small. The things we're after, the things we're praying for, are not small at all. And it's always yes, no, maybe. So these kind of big things we got to wait for, we got to search for, we got to work for. So if you're on the same prayer as I am, that you want, I want to see heaven, man. I mean, I want to see heaven on earth. I want to see a place where it's us and Him. It's we are His people, and He is our God, and we just live in that peace. And so if you're on that same tip, it's gonna take a while. It has already. You know, it's all about getting our hearts right in a way of service. If we want to really see heaven, we don't even know what we're asking for. You know. Boy, I hope this ends up looking like Roan Dog. It's probably the most realistic dog painting I've ever done. Hi. SpongeBob Water Pistol. Thank you. Yes, British girl. Yeah. And your commitment to it. I think that's a lot of the reason why we're all drawn to you too, is that you're novice. You're not looking at it like, what am I gonna, like, what how am I better than these guys so that I can teach them something that they don't know. But you're looking at it like we're all walking with God, and it's ever new. And so I think you and your novice, I think maybe is a nice way to put it. But you and your lack of religion, lack of understanding, but lack of misunderstanding, honestly, is what's attracted me, for one thing, to you as far as your ministry goes. Although I'd be supportive, you know, I'd just be speaking up if I really thought something else. But yeah, I think you're just that you're really walking with God. You're not trying to sell something to somebody. That's definitely why I'm drawn to you. And honestly, why the attacks are probably harder on you and more public, because however he's attacking, he's trying to discourage you from the things that God's doing. It's like a perfect attack sometimes when you start to watch how he's attacking, make you realize what's really going on. Which brings you back to the main point, right? Use all of that to get back to God and know that the enemy is not stupid. They attack with a perfect exactness of it. So if it's lust, it's probably because there's the blessingness of marriage. They want to corrupt that because of the strength that you can get when you're finally paired up. They want to make it where you're not sure. They want to make it where you feel sick in a way so that you don't feel so strong on it. You got to see the perfectness of the attack. Exactness. Maybe that's a better word for it. They want to make you afraid of public speaking or afraid of shame, being treated like the outsider or whatever. It's probably because you have somebody that you can help through this gift. It's been really awesome, you guys. I'm really grateful for all y'all coming in, spending a little bit of time with me this morning. I know I've already been on here an hour and 15 minutes. It just goes by so quick when I'm really so passionate about the message. So, but I hope that it was custom custom picked for our group. My testimonies today, like, all right, it's not an accident that I'm sharing it right now. You're not alone. And because our group is starting to form a little better, and because our group is starting to draw in more people that the Lord wants us to be ministers with or ministers to, it wants us to tell them about that there's hope, starting to bring in these bigger community. Of course, we're all going to be getting attacked in one way or another because the enemy does not want us to do that. But that also means that the blessing is coming. For sure. So mark the devils. Mark them. Watch how they're attacking, and it will really tell you something. You know, let the Holy Spirit tell you what's going on. I think this one's getting to a place. I think I'm gonna keep it as realistic looking as I can and as much white canvas as I can. I think this one is definitely getting to a stopping point. So I'll do a little more detailing off camera, but put a little more white in. Maybe some eyeballs on the chicken. Hi, everybody. Ooh, I think I got pretty close. I think I got pretty close. There we go. That's better. Better lighting. I mean, I don't think shame is, I don't know. It's like I do kind of, not shame. I mean, I'm strong when it comes to it, but it is intimidating. And sometimes you don't want to say the things that the Spirit wants you to say, as I demonstrated with the water. I tried to demonstrate with my story there that, like, I didn't want to say that. Like, it wasn't like a thing that I was going to get glory out of. So this is my painting, and this is Rome Dog. Still got some work, but that's not bad. Notice the pause. Cool. Word. I'll take it. So I'll probably work on it a little bit more, but that'll probably be about it for this video. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope y'all got something out of it. Thank you, Nisha, for holding it down. Man, you're right here with the message for real. And I'll see you next time, SpongeBob. Thank you, everybody that came through. Joe, Coffee, Jordan. I think I saw Nietzsche, Naomi, Nietzsche, everybody. Jalen, Jay, where did he go? Jim, I want to remember his name because that's a cool brother. He just keeps showing up. I appreciate all y'all support. Even nobody was here. I didn't even see him. Well, hi, nobody. Nisha, you got my heart, girl. She said, it's okay. I'm the same. It's real tears. I was not trying to cry today. For real, I was not trying to. It's just when I think of how awesome God is to me. Really came through. I appreciate you. Gerald Ross, I appreciate you, man. Keep that smile going. DJ came back around. All right. That is the end of the list. All right. Well, hopefully y'all enjoyed it. Hopefully somebody got some good seeds out of this thing. I'm going to go ahead and jump off of here at an hour and 20. That's not bad for a video. So keep praying. Keep your hearts up. None of this is an accident. Keep going back to Him. Most important. He's our hope. He's our friend's hope. He's everybody's hope. I'm gonna go ahead and sign this one off and work on the rest of this off camera. Look for me later on the other one for Jay Royal, and then also later on tonight for the one for Nikki Lee. All right, talk to y'all later.